Alrighty, Caleb, Kyle, welcome. We're gonna get into just looking at your kicks today. Finally got some time to get into it, so we start with Caleb. So Caleb here, he is practicing just some set shots in his kicking form. So I'm going to stop here and start with your drop. So the way you're dropping the ball, you can see you're dropping the ball at an angled position. I don't have a way to write on this, but if you look at the arrow, if we were to put an arrow right here, it's angled. The nose is angled at a diagonal. We want that dropping more up and down, more vertically, vertically. And we want it rotating away from you as well, so that when you go to kick, you're able to kick. We want to be kicking the ball up here. So on this kick now, you're going to get this kind of big area of the ball. Oops. And as you kind of see if I can back up just a little more. You're not really getting that. You didn't get a rotation on the ball. It's spinning sideways, kind of off the side of your foot here too. I like the. So again, just here. See how the ball is dropped at this angle here? It needs to be up and down. And it needs to be falling away from you, not tilted, falling towards you. Watch this foot here. So for long distance kicks, we want that foot to pop up, which I believe it does. Yep, so that's good. Another thing too is our balance hand coming up. As it comes up, it should be pointing in the direction that we were kicking it, so this is good. Just be careful not to turn your hips. Just kind of turn your body this way. So we'll take another. Take a look at another one here. So right now, the problem I'm seeing is how you're dropping. You're doing the kind of two-hand drop, and you're kind of just putting your hands apart. Let's see what we do here. So as you'll see, you have way more control for a lot longer when you do the one-handed drop here. We want to get that nose pointed down a little bit more. But that was good. I think we just kind of hit it off our boot a little wrong. Your foot's kind of turned inside, it looks like. Maybe flatten that foot out a little more.
That went off my
I think a lot of it is just your drop here. This is a really good kick. You're getting that spin. I think that was a really good example of you controlling the ball past you're controlling the ball to your waist. This is Kyle. We'll get back to Kyle in a second. So we'll kind of have to tilt our head for this one. I'm not sure why it's recorded like this. But again, as we drop that ball, it needs to be up and down. As we saw, it's all in your drop. If you drop it right, you'll kick it right. And here, as you see, it's too much contact up here. So. I guess this is our last one. So yeah, as you saw, when you do this one-hand drop, you just got to get more comfortable with that. You have so much more control. The ball is dropping straight down. Sorry. We just got to continue to make contact on the lower part of that ball so that it spins a little more. That ball is smaller. That's non-slowed one. So that's your first one. Alright, yeah, so Caleb, I would say for you, it really is just this drop. So again, so this is a bad kick, right? And it's because we dropped the ball. It's not up and down. It needs to be up and down when it drops, falling away from us, just like you did in this one, I believe. So, boom. See how it's ending up here? It's still rotating this way, but it needs to be at this angle when we're about to kick it. So, and then you can see the spin. So, continue just working. It really is continuing to work on your drop, getting that drop down, getting it straight, having it controlled. All right, let's go to Kyle. Alright, that was a beautiful. That's a beautiful picture. Screenshot that. This is art. So for Kyle here, we're kicking towards the top end of his range. I think one. Did your foot get caught? Looks like your foot maybe scraped the grass here, but you had a great drop as far as like the ball is up and down. It's a little off-centered a little bit if you look at it and you drew arrow. Let me see before you make contact. Yeah. So if we drove an arrow, we want it up and down like this. Yours is slightly off-center, like that. So it's going to fly a little weird, which you see it does. It doesn't go straight. It kind of teeters this way. It starts hooking this right way. Other than that, we talked about your planting foot. I definitely might see it in a later video, but if we look at, so you're running this way, so everything should be landing in this lane right here, and you kind of are landing your ball hooked left, and you're kind of landing more to the left as well on that plant foot. So let's see if we can see it from here. So yeah, you're hooking your body left after you kick it. It's a good kick. The drop looked fine. The ball looked like it was vertical, but if you imagine like a straight line, I really wish I could draw. But if we drew like a lane for you, you should stay in that. If we put like a lane down, you should stay in that lane the whole time. But when you're kicking, your follow through is forcing your body inward. That was the left footed kick. You kick this with your right? Yeah, so you kick this with your right. This one was with your right as well. Correct. So, what was this one? This was a left footed kick. Yeah. I thought I was going crazy for a second. So, looked like a good kick just with your off foot. So you didn't go. You hooked, or you missed right. So the drop is fine. It may be a little straighter. We have that spin, which is great. I think you could be like follow through hooking it on both sides, not just the left side. So yeah, truthfully, Kyle, for you, it's not the drop necessarily. It's I would still like to see a one-handed controlled drop. It's very helpful when you're running. When you're running, it's very helpful. But you know, Kyle, I think for you, man, it's just your follow through and making sure you're following through straight through the mark. Like if you finish your kick and to keep going through, you should run through your mark. And then for Kaleb, man, it's just your drop. So focus on your drop, and I think you'll have no problems.